probably one of the most difficult tracks to get around. It's so flat. They have a little bit of progressive banking. I swear the first lane is off camber, and then it's flat, and then a little bit of camber that works in your favor. But it is so tough to get right. And you have these long straightaways, this flat entry, and a sharp turn. So as you turn the car in and hit the brakes, the car just throws itself at the corner. So you're just out of control in. You have a very small lane that creates speed that you got to hit. And you miss it, and then you go to the next end, and you try to make up time, and you miss it again. Like, it's a frustrating track. I think it's put on some really interesting racing over the years because you can't really complete a pass. People are making mistakes left and right. So it does put on a good show, but inside the car, it is so frustrating to race that place. So Ward is he's a friend, absolutely a friend. Been able to help his son, Jeb, a little bit get going here in recent years. But we had a bit of a run-in at the New Hampshire racetrack in like '03 or something. Coming through the field, we had a great car. We ended up winning the race that day. But into turn one, and just how tricky the entry is into the corner, I'm inside of him. I kind of lose control of my car. I get into him, spin him out, and crash him. As the race goes on, they fix his car and put him back on track, and he's upset, and his only mission to be back on track now is to try to crash me. So I'm literally coming down the straightaway, and I can see him in front of me, like just waiting for me to go one way because he wants to take me out. So I navigate him a few times on track. NASCAR picks up on it, and they park him. They're like, all right, we're not going to let him affect the outcome of the race. They park him. So the race is over. And I learned this part later, but the race is over and I'm doing my winner's circle interview and Ward is leaving. And I didn't handle the interview exactly how Ward would have liked.
Yeah, there's a lot of close calls, and I ended up getting tangled up with Ward Burton, and I'm sorry for that. He was racing really hard, and I was racing hard too, and I got loose inside of him going into one and got into him and set him up into the wall. And he was pretty mad. He tried to wreck me 4 or 5 times while we're out there in the green, but I'm just glad nothing happened.
And he hears this driving out. So after the race, I try to call him. I can't reach him. Leave him a voicemail. I call for a couple days. I can't reach him. I'm like, man, and I'm hearing outside, plus he's not responding. I know he's mad. So I want to clean this up before we go to the next track. I don't want any issues. So I call. I remember the secretary answering the phone, and she puts him on the phone. And he started yelling. He has a deep Southern accent, so I'm not sure what he was saying. But like every 5th word I could pick out was a cuss word. And he went on and on and on and was so mad and just vented and dumped it all out there. And then I kind of worked my way back in. I was like, dude, I didn't mean to do it on purpose. Like, I'm sorry. And then I found out that he heard what I was saying when I was leaving the track, and that really set him off. And we got it all patched up and it worked itself out. But he had me sweating for a few days, and I really had to work hard to track him down to make sure I wasn't the first caution at the next race. For the first 2 times, I guess, I won there was a traditional trophy in Victory Lane, and that was fine. And then they picked up the tradition of bringing this just monster lobster as the trophy and would give it to you. So my most recent win there is in that era of the lobster. And I mean, the thing is huge. It's like a 50-pound lobster, something ridiculous, 30 pounds, I don't know. Way bigger than I want to touch, hold, or be a part of. Afraid he was going to attack me or something. It's just this monster lobster. So then I guess the last part to that was I was like, can you guys throw him back? Like I won the race. He's on ice. You can still see him moving. Like, let's just put him back in the water. Like that's what I want to have happen. Well, 2 months later, here on a plaque shows up the lobster on the plaque. So he didn't make it back to the ocean.
Just because we get around.